Okay. Hi, Kryl. In Fate's footsteps. Just you were able to get plenty of rest. Good. Well, I thought we might take a moment to ponder our next steps, and perhaps reflect on our recent journey. Though I must admit, my thoughts often drift to the Mist Continent and our stay in Treno. It was heartening to see the Milala prosper despite the odds, but my own flesh and blood strive in that Levin-wrecked landscape. Oh, shout out to apparently with this patch, Jonathan Bailey went back and re-recorded a bunch of 7.4 lines, so he no longer clearly sounds like his throat is exploding. Sphene was eager to restore diplomatic relations. I have no doubt that Alexandria will provide much-needed support in their neighbor. I too shall do everything I can to aid my home away from home, my wonderful, welcoming family included. For the time being, though, I'd say we've accomplished all within our power. Suppose that just leaves the matter of preservation's research. It is yet unclear how Calyx learned the techniques he used to summon his Dark Primal. And there is likewise much that remains unknown about the key. Let us hope that Shale's efforts bear more fruit. Can you hear me? No, this is just Shola. Ah. Shale and I have been reviewing the decrypted files and have uncovered some intriguing details. Would you care to join us? We'll be with you right away. Excellent. Shale seems eager to speak with you all. Come and find us in the Duturo lab when you're ready. Uncanny timing indeed. Let us make for the containment complex. Here. For the sake of plot, I'll turn on his. We'll have him showing his face for a little bit. As I run around with my tiny crow on my head. Rip to my tiny crow, but at least Carbuncle is here. He's allowed to come into any combat arenas. I hope they remember pet glamps exist for next patch. Or not next patch, next expansion. I'd like to see them actually do something with the system. Given that all the data is stored in within electrode devices, Shale's expertise has proven invaluable. Shale's kind of cool as fuck. We'll say. He's kind of awesome.
Ah, you're just in time for a progress report. The decryption is finally complete. As we suspected, the data represents a partial record of Preservation's research documents. A quick scan of the files, however, failed to turn up the information Y'shtola was after.
Indeed. No mention of the Ascians, or primal summoning techniques for that matter. While Calyx doubtless received instruction from someone possessed of such knowledge, there was naught to identify this benevolent mentor. I am, however, pleased to say that we found several reports concerning the key.
We know the key is used to open paths between worlds, and was a treasured relic of the Milala. And just as the Milala were unable to return after reaching the Mist Continent, so too was Preservation unable to gain a mastery of the prize which had passed into their possession. The data suggests that a particular formula or procedure is required, a process which Calyx appears to have understood to some degree. Yet the key proved fickle. Perfectly replicating conditions was no guarantee of success. And even when they did manage to generate a modest portal, the destination was never the one they expected. The reports practically screamed their frustration, describing the experience as being dragged around by a traveler picking roads without
Yeah,
rhyme
that's a
or
Zim,
reason.
all right.
Serves them right, I say.
Exactly what a Zim would do.
After much trial and error, Preservation began to experiment with external actuation devices for the key. Striving to maintain a stable pathway to a chosen location, they conceived of the technology that forms the gate to the Golden City.
So, their tribulations ultimately afforded them control of the key, albeit in a limited capacity, which, of course, explains why they were able to instruct Soralja in its use, thus enabling the unprecedented feat of transferring Everkeep and its environs to the source. After the Endless Fiend took the key unto herself, she opened pathways to other reflections in her hunt for ether, did she not?
The Milala merely used it to facilitate their exodus. To think what the key has now wrought in different hands.
For all we know, the actuation device augmented the key's power beyond its intended scope. Were your goal to plunder whole worlds of their ether, a tool designed to simply transfer people would likely be insufficient.
That's true. That's a completely different process.
Shale, I don't suppose you would be able to remove the actuation device?
The machine made for that very purpose is still functional, thankfully. It shouldn't be a problem.
What do you think? We don't even know how the key works. If the device is somehow interfering or amplifying its capabilities, I believe we ought to remove it.
Let me take out my goblet
Give
the
me a
size of
moment.
half my body real quick. I love how the moment you see it not in that thing, it's the most Amarantine like infrastructure you've ever seen in your life. Like, look at that shit.
My word.
Like,
Ishtola?
you just still got hit by like a vision of a Star Wars space jump.
This is the first time I've beheld the key in all its unobscured glory. The sheer density is extraordinary. 'Tis akin to the structures we saw beneath the Tempest.
Yep. Like Amarant.
Now that you mention it, the ornamentation is reminiscent of Amarot.
Yeah, it sure is, Graha.
Have you noticed anything since the key has been in your possession?
Yeah, it had a Zim's big ass symbol on it. Literally reminds me of a Zim's crystal.
You're suggesting the key has some connection with Azim. A plausible theory, although one we are yet unequipped to prove.
I saw it glow with his branded logo.
My apologies. Hello? Yes, this is Cryle speaking. That was Ojika with a message for us.
An urgent matter?
I'm not altogether sure. Tataru requires our counsel, and hoped to call upon us in person at the Baldessian Annex. Though disappointed we were not present, she appeared content to wait until our travels brought us back to Sharlayan, insisting that it did not merit our immediate summons. Her tone suggested otherwise, however, and Ojika felt compelled to contact us directly.
Mayhap the time has come for another journey across the salt.
Time to go back home, finally. Oh,
You'd best go. Though I'll not deny that
I'll
I'll be
miss
sad
you,
to see
Shale.
you leave.
You were awesome.
Oh, Shale. I can't even begin to thank you for all you've done. We will be forever indebted to you and your Oblivion colleagues.
The debt is ours. We'll never forget the sacrifices you've made for us, for Alexandria. In the meantime, I shall keep sifting through the data. You'll hear as soon as I find anything of note.
Actually, I should like to stay here a little longer, if you don't mind.
I need to be off screen for more of this patch.
You are most welcome.
So are these two kind of, you know, they kind of, ever since she showed up in 7.1, you know, these two kind of, they kind of, you know.
And might I borrow the
Gay
key
on
for a
vibes.
while? I wish to study it further. With the utmost care, I assure you.
Well then, shall we be off? Ojika will be expecting us.
Trail to the heavens. All the inside of the text had little symbols that looked like Amaranth architecture, like the key. That's cute. My colleagues will be just as saddened by your departure until we meet again. Given that preservation, that could not unlock the secrets of the key, it should come as no surprise that we too struggle to understand its nature. In any event, do give Tataru my regards when you see her. I ought to mention that we also uncovered information unrelated to the key. According to Shale, certain confidential reports are now accessible via devices in the Researchers Commons and the Director's office. You might wish to peruse the files before you depart for Charlotte. Hey, isn't it weird now that I think about it? Why did Aaronville and Alphino and Alisay take a boat back home in 7.4? Like, we explicitly know teleporting is a thing. They even bring it up at the beginning of Endwalker, where they create a teleportation system that someone like Thancred would be able to use. Oh, that's right. I can try out the advanced version of Merchant's Tale at some point if I want. Oh my god, there's so many people here. I'm just saying, if your choice is like be tired for a little bit or take a like 3-week boat trip, I'll get knocked out for a day. What a pleasure it is to see you two. Thank you for contacting us, Ujika. We came as soon as we could. Of course, I felt it prudent given how troubled Tataru was. Concern is very much appreciated. As it so happens, we'd reach a convenient juncture in our investigation. Shale and Y'shtola have matters well in hand, leaving us free to make this trip. A relief to hear. Let me fetch Tataru for you. Why don't you take a moment to relax in the main hall? I'm sure you're all still fatigued from your journey. Only now beginning to feel like we've actually returned. Such fond memories within these four walls. Even now Tataru is away on business these days. 'Tis a small miracle we're in the same place at the same time. That big ass map of the world that's just incorrect, that's still up there, is so
Planning your
embarrassing.
next journey?
Oh no, just reminiscing. Thinking back to when you bought this map, and how you all encouraged me to make the voyage to Tural.
Are you glad you did?
As if you need ask.
Very much glad, even though we didn't actually do a lot with any of my stuff until like level 70 and 7.4.
Welcome back.
It's been a while.
I'm so glad you're here.
Ojika contacted us. He intimated that you were rather concerned. Come to think of it, Alphino said he and Alize would pay you a visit upon their return. Have you not seen them?
Oh no, they were here. I was regaled with many a tale of your Turali adventures. It was only once they departed for Garlemord that the rumors came to my attention. Rather alarmingly, void-sent sightings seem to be on the rise across the star.
That would explain the new fucked up enemy that they spawned in Gridania that is like the most hideous void scent you've ever seen in your life.
I was reluctant to bother you with mere hearsay, especially when you had more pressing matters to contend with. But earlier I received a confidential report from the Grand Company of Eorzea. It's as if a mighty dam has been breached, flooding the land with foul creatures. For a blessing, most nations have managed to keep the invaders in check, and casualties appear to be minimal thus far.
I swear, if we end up resolving the
Though the
entirety
same
of
cannot
like
be said for
the
those
void
regions
scent
with a
hinted
deep
plot
connection to
line
the
in
void.
this patch, I'm gonna go fucking insane.
Fissures continue
That or
to
we
manifest
just lightly
without
touch upon it and
end,
then shove it off to the
putting
side for like the
countless
5 millionth
innocents
time.
in danger.
A deeper connection to the void. Garlemald is the home of the Reapers, is it not?
It is. Alphino and Alizé were there when the trouble began, and have since sent word that the situation has taken a dreadful turn.
Tertium. In the silent dimension with no audio or music whatsoever.
Thus concludes the abridged account of our time in Tiral. Now I shall leave you with the words of the late Dawn Servant, Galul Jaja.
Gulu Jaja.
Ignorance begets strife. Understanding begets fellowship. A notion that rings true for Eorzeans no less than it does for the diverse peoples of Tuliolal.
And for Garleans as well. Even sharing something as simple as a local dish can pave avenues.
Hey, maybe
of
we shouldn't
understanding.
just be like racist towards one another. That's what I learned in America.
It's up to all of us to forge new bonds together.
Listen, I'm just saying, if they sent my ass to Tiral, and then afterwards they were like, "Hey, do you want to go back to Garlemald?" Fuck no. You would not
Thank
catch
you
my ass on a
for
boat
sharing
back
your
to
tale.
Garlemald.
Better they hear it firsthand than endure my clumsy retelling. Your words give me hope that we might achieve something similar here in Garlemald.
We all have the capacity to affect change. Our time in Tiral taught us that much. And now that we've returned, it's time we rolled up our sleeves and got back to work.
I've already sent missives to the other nations, informing them of our Alexandrian friends. I also intend to notify the Garlean community officially. If both sides are amenable to the proposition, we shall gladly assist in establishing diplomatic relations with Alexandria and Tuliolal.
Thank you,
You got stun locked.
but are you sure you've recovered from your journey? It sounded like you've hardly had time to catch your breath.
Sir!
Clytium, it's under attack. We can't even
Lapis
find it.
Manolis is overrun with void scent. We've sustained heavy civilian casualties.
What?
Plutium Squadron reporting in. We're under attack. Void scent appeared out of nowhere and ambushed us during a routine inspection. Damn it. Is that another fissure? Oh, no, no, no! Ah!
The Oomfies are attacking.
My
Watch out.
comrades are under attack. We have to do something.
There's no time to lose! Come on!
The Garlean community is ill-equipped to defend themselves against such a threat. Even with the aid of the twins and the Ilzabard contingent, they face daunting odds.
We shall leave for Garlemald immediately.
Thank you. I was able to contact Thancred and Urianger too. They're already on their way. With any luck, you'll be able to rendezvous with them on arrival.
Off we go. Hold Alphino and Alizé have withdrawn to Tertium to request aid on the front lines. It seems they intend on rejoining the battle once reinforcements are ready. I shall tell them to wait until you arrive. Two worlds intertwined. Like that, we find ourselves faced with another emergency. Fortunately, there's hardly time to make a difference. Let us make haste for Tertium. I like how there's just a bunch of concept art hanging on the back of the wall, by the way. like that's Oz's Law up there. Off we go. Into the mess of fucking raiders and chocobos. Hey, Fankred and Urianger are here. He's back in his This Is Fankred fit. You made it in time.
You picked a frosty spot for a reunion.
Tataru sent word that you were coming. Full glad am I to see you all. Though I'm afraid this is no time for pleasantries.
Actually, Fankred, is that a new fit you're wearing?
Planar fissures have opened up across Garlemald, inundating the region with void scent. As far as we can ascertain, there are two focal points of their assault. The Ilzabard contingent are combating the threat in Lapis Manalis. Although they have suffered casualties, they appear to have the upper hand.
As well they should. The many talented Uldan thaumaturges among them should be more than capable of closing
Not the
any
Uldan
fissures they
thaumaturges.
encounter.
Which leaves the second focal point, the Clutium. Eulus and the Garlean community are attempting to mount a counterattack, but are struggling to cope with the sheer number of Voidsent. They've fallen back to the north of the Imperial Palace. Can you lend your aid in securing the area?
With your blessing, I would tend to the wounded returning from battle.
Of course, Kryl.
Kara's like, I'm not in Tyrol
The quickest
anymore.
route
I
from
gotta
here to
not
the
be in
front is via
dungeons
the train
now.
tracks. Once we arrive, we can support the Garlean forces as we make for the fissure in the munitions factory.
Off we go. Oh, okay, just like that. Okay, it's not a location on the map we're gonna go to. just like right here. Yep, it's just on the back wall here. Form a party. Sorry about this, Alphino.
Our fates are not yet
I'm
sealed.
not bringing in Alphino and Alizé at once. they always get a little iffy with how their AI works. Welcome to the Clytium. Oh, it's the trailer music. Nice. I do like how they've gotten better at having like guys fighting in the background or being in proper fights with you over the course of like the DAWNTRAIL stuff. Dun dun. Let's just grab them. Come on over here. We're gonna test Urianger's reflexes.
You underestimate me.
Oh, they got rock throw. Surprised this is just a dungeon theme. Boom, boom, boom. I have almost 20k more HP than Urianger and Alice. I just fucked up my entire rotation. I got distracted.
Behold the heavens' brilliance!
The heavens brilliant.
Behold the heavens' brilliance!
Excuse me. I'm gonna have to take a quick break after this. Need to get some water. Just gonna ignore those guys fighting for their lives. Viva Vadis! Nice. The hunger for Aether is insatiable.
You're a sight for sore eyes.
Oh, Julius. Urianger! What is... Okay, this is another one of those pulls they keep doing in DAWNTRAIL. It's too long. Understood.
This bodeth ill.
Bankard, why is Urianger tanking?
Overcome this.
Okay, everybody's alive. All the enemies have been pulled into one pile.
Behold the heavens' brilliance!
My turn. Appreciate the help. We'll handle things from here. Take care of the fissure.
Take care of the fisher. Hey, there he is! He's bluer than he was in the initial preview images. Eye of the Scorpion. Eyes on me. Get ready for blind mechanics. All shall be turned to stone. Oh, that's... So there's no way to determine, you just have to watch it. Okay. That's a mean first thing to happen on the first boss is an unmarked giant glaze key that is moving. So it looks like the best thing to do is sit near the middle. And then move when it gets close to casting. Maybe over here. Yep, okay, that's what you want to do. Over here. The further back you are, the harder that's going to be to avoid. Slightest movements. I move. Oh no, it's a wall. Yep. They're introducing some funny new mechanics in here. Or funny new ways to tell mechanics. Specific. Yep. Ha! Side. It's really funny how many of these dungeons in DAWNTRAIL are based around, yeah, you can bring in AI, but we will have mechanics that just kill you that the AI cannot save you from. I see. I'll say is popping the limit break. Of course she is. During this? No. Honestly, shockingly simple mechanical loop. For this one. For being like the last dungeon past first boss. I was expecting a bit more. It is using some new like ways to determine it. It's just not doing a lot during them that would make it an issue. Like just putting a couple puddle AoEs down isn't gonna like fuck with anything. That way. Yep. That was a strange encounter. Quick tongue materia. I love getting materia. I love getting materia instead of seeing what the dungeon has in it. Do you think Garlemald had all this infrastructure left? Am I being attacked? Pray Magitech. Yep, it's Magitech here. Dude, fuck yes. Come on over. Bank crit if you would. Pop these here. We're gonna have another big pull after this anyway.
You
dungeon theme. The little, I just noticed it does a little laugh. That's cute. There we go. Off we go. Taking the side route in North Elbland Timberland. Man, this is just like Lies of P's DLC. Like this explicit spot. I hope I don't fight a big alligator.
Behold the heavens' brilliance!
Oh, they're just right. They're coming right along. Nice.
Together we shall overcome this.
The AoEs in this fight are always a little mean. Hey. Solar Bahamutted. Idiot. Whoa. That's an impact crater. What the fuck? How the hell is that thing moving so fast? Also very Resident Evil and Lies of P core. I'm not gonna lie to you. Chort. Okay, another death ring. Oh my god, it's the fucking Elden Ring enemy. It's the Godskins Noble. Getting distracted and eating Vuln stacks. Oh, here we go again. Oh my god. Chort is the scariest guy I've ever met in my life.
Behold the heavens' brilliance! All that I have and more I bring to bear.
Okay, so this is a much faster version of his the mechanic from the 7.2 dungeon. Back and land on us. Yeah, the pattern's not that bad. say is popping Limit Break again, because that's what she always does. Ass heal checks. Raid wide. I gotta say, I appreciate the aesthetic for going forward with this dungeon. These fights are a lot simpler than I would have expected them to be. They really do not have a lot going on for a final patch like dungeon. Oh boy, half gloves. I love being able to tell what the gear looks like via half glove. Yeah, a bunch. Now we're getting more voids infused into Magitech. That's cute. Scrap Gargoyle and Scrap Pipe Claw. Diplos. I assume if I go over here.
Oh, radiant starlight, become my blade.
Yep. So, we know how Void Scent work is they possess a form and then turn that into a body for themselves. So I wonder if they're gathering scrap to allow more of them in en masse. Or if there's another reason they're trying to make more tangible bodies for themselves. Because we know now that there is a world where the elemental imbalance has been shifted to dark so badly that it cannot recover. And they've implied that that is happening in the 9th as well. And it appears to be happening in the 4th with ice. So I'm wondering if the same what happened to the Void is occurring to other places, but much slower because the Ascians weren't meddling as much. And it's actually more of a natural phenomenon. Due to everything being split amongst the shards. Since we also know that there are suddenly giants that have appeared in the 4th that are walking the earth as well. Whee! In we go. To the hangar. Awesome. Oh yeah, all the fissures. Better than taking the stairs. Okay, you have fun with that, Bankrid. I'll be right back. And get the guys to come out of this hole. Out of hell. Oh, you can see a bunch of them down there. Being in like the airship factory is very cool.
You're mine.
These are just not, I'm literally standing on them. This should be the final pull. I'm hoping that dungeons in 8.0 get a little more interesting. It's outside of visuals. This sure is just two pools walled off, and then a boss every single time. That is a man who is an Acrid. Masterful manipulator Malphus. Malphus, are you aware that you are an Acrid from hit Capcom game and franchise Lost Planet? Whee! Oh, these are like the ARR guys with the missile and drill arms. Just scorched. Put an end to this. Rubbish disposal. AoE, big, great Y, got it. Stay in front of it, yep. Cone based on location, big cleave, pattern. Your favorite trick in the universe. Big mobile AoE pattern that will probably explode later, so get to the opening. Oh, fuck. Are those gonna... Oh, no, they're puppets. I thought they were gonna explode into cross AoEs, and I got scared. You ought to split up. Not exactly sure what we're doing here. Ah, I see. Now there's two big ones. So probably over here. Yep. That from Cleave. Oh. Moving. It's really funny that they put those old Stormblood Alliance raids up and then just brought back like every fucking mechanic in this patch that they used to do. It's very cute. They're spinning. Over here. Nope. Oh, he moved further than I thought. I lost track of him. Okay. Oh yeah, I was gonna say I didn't exactly understand what the point of this fight was because we weren't doing anything for most of it. But it's very funny that they violently started doing things at like the last moment. dark is the heaven. Okay, so this was just meant to show you what each individual pattern does. Which is why I was confused, because I'm like, I was expecting them to throw more than me at once. And kind of failed to understand that, no, that was just going to be the basic stacking. They always tend to do for normal content, so... Kind of sad that we got such a banger dungeon theme and it's not even going to play during this. So, if this is going to do the same thing they did last time, this zone will be safe. I assume it's a set. No, it's not a set pattern. I'm dead again. Ooh! Okay. Oh, we're just gonna keep doing it. Okay. It's very funny that they've been leaning towards, Jesus Christ, that they've been leaning towards, no, you need to have personal responsibility during certain fights. We are not going to, we're not going to let you get away with some of this shit. Like some of these patterns are getting like harder to determine visually just from following guys around. Like, you didn't even move that time. Again. I got 30 more seconds not to get fucked up. Kill this bum now! Okay. For the top of striking. I don't think I got a single piece of casting out of this. 765. Oh, that's cute. It's almost more like like the Blood Moon gear. All I got was like striking stuff. Yep. Striking pieces, baby. Yeah, let's see what these two have to say. Not much fighting left in them now. I have my eye on them. Still alive because we need that scene with Julius. We need only close the fissure. This creature is not long for this world. Alright. You gonna try talking to these guys before they die? That is a Bayonetta-ass design on that face sculpt.
I think that's all of them.
We need but seal the fissure to prevent further ingress.
It's over. I can only imagine the extent of the damage were it not for your aid. On behalf of the Garlean community,
The
thank
Garlean
you
community.
for all you've done for my people, for my home.
That was fine. The first two fights weren't that bad. Were really easy, actually. Outside of, obviously, Ahriman having an instant kill if you don't have a Rever in your party. The third fight was interesting. Its basic mechanics were really simple. The only thing that was kind of there to trip you up was when it started moving them around in, like, the last 50%. But if you're going to have a full party of people that are kitted out above item level, which they will be at this point in patch cycle already, you're going to, like, melt through that guy's second half of his HP bar.
I shall close the fissure post-haste.
You gonna talk to us, Malphus?
If you do that, I will be trapped here.
I'll fucking die. For sure.
You risked your life in vanquishing the creature. Would you at least let me bear the burden of deciding its fate? You want to go back? To the void? Your kind have entered this realm before. Some seeking death that they might rejoin the life stream. But you would choose that dark, deathless place?
The wind is fresh and pure, untouched by darkness. Perhaps it won't be a blessing to meet my end in such a place. But I cannot yet bear to part with the void. only the winds will blow there as they do here.
I want to fix the void, please. I don't want to just abandon it.
I long to return, to see my home unsullied, as it once was.
We know that pain all too well. If that is your wish, you must forsake this aggression. Go back to the Void and devote yourself to its restoration. I have a friend, Zero, who hails from your home. She and her companions strive to bring light into the Void from another world blighted with imbalance. I hear their efforts have already met with some success. One day, they'll drive the darkness from the Void, I'm sure of it.
His form is imbued with the will of all those I consumed. We shall return to our world and seek out this Zero. Then we shall see if there is truth in your words.
She won't disappoint you. That much I guarantee.
It did like a little bow. Cute. Malthus the Manipulator. Oddly cordial.
Bravo! I think Zero will approve.
Oh, Indeed, that was truly heartening to see.
Gain his ass.
Understanding begets fellowship, right? I thought I might lead by example.
Well then, shall we head back?
My heartfelt appreciation. Without your intervention, I have no doubt the casualties would have been far greater. The Widsent not only absorb the aether of those they consume, but their thoughts as well. With such a legion of minds at their disposal, one hopes they prove a capable ally for Zero. With the Glytium fissure sealed, I dare say the Voidsent incursion is at an end. The boys come a long way. All credit to Zero for nudging him in the right direction. Ulysses was quick to pick up on put our words, or rather, those of the Dawn Serpent, into practice. Reports have begun trickling in. By all accounts, the Ilsabar contingent was successful in containing the threat on their front. The Void's to attack in such numbers, just as we are finding our feet. I daren't imagine the consequences had you not provided such timely aid. On behalf of my comrades, thank you. Thank you all. How the fuck are we gonna get from this to NUO? Jesus Christ. Kakarot will attack spawn in.
The Ilsabard contingent have contained the threat on their front. Things appear to be under control for the time being. Though it remains unclear why the fissures opened up in the first place. According to Tataru, similar ruptures are occurring across the star.
One thing is clear, however. The phenomenon is not without pattern. The tendency for fissures to emerge is pronounced in regions deeply connected to the void. Places where the barrier between the two worlds is at its thinnest.
I fear there may be a place in far greater peril than Garlemald. Though it hath since been sealed, you will recall there was a great void gate that we
The moon might be a little fucked up right now.
Open. A gate which was instrumental in our bid to reunite Vritra with his sister and put an end to Golbez's dark plot.
Kind of crazy we just left that thing open.
Oh gods. The moon.
With our attention fixed upon planar fissures, I failed to consider this vulnerability. All other paths unto the void are but pinpricks in the veil compared to that great lunar rift.
And that rift might be yawning open as we speak. We'd better hurry.
Let us make for Bestway's burrow. I dare say the Loporrits are well aware of current events.
We ought to have Kryl join us once she finishes tending to the wounded. I shall likewise contact Y'shtola. Her knowledge of the moon's void gate is second to none.
Alphino, Alize, please do what you must to keep our world safe.
We'll be back before you know it.
A quick word, if you will. I'm not sure whether you'll run into Zero during the course of all this, but if you do, would you give this to her?
Some food.
Emergency
Cute.
rations, in case of a protracted battle. Can't imagine she's eating all that well in the void. She likes dumplings.
Cute. Oh, we just teleported to the moon. Loporrit shenanigans are occurring.
We're doomed! Doomed, I say!
Hi, Mapping Way.
Given thy panicked state, I presume the Loporrits too are beset with void scent.
Oh, what sweet relief it is to see you all. Yes, void scent. And lots of them. They suddenly came pouring forth from the crater.
I had dearly hoped to find my worries unfounded.
For some unknown reason, the void gate seems to have partially opened. Living Ray dashed off to activate the brands and halt the fiend's invasion. But she hasn't come back, and we've since lost contact.
I suggest we make for the brands without delay.
Sorry about that. All right. Off we go. Hello, giant half-naked, like, Rodigan. Oh. Everybody in sequence interacting with this fucking thing. The endless fucking surge of guys running in. Where are we going? Oh, over here. Okay. Dum. Ba-da-dum. Ba-dum. Ba-dum. It is occurring again. Alright, my living way.
Oh, I'm saved! I dread to think what would have befallen me if you hadn't intervened. Oh, I was never in any real danger, of course. I knew you would realize our plight and rush to our rescue.
I was going to fucking die.
Atheris is likewise plagued with void scent. If only we'd prioritized further development of the void scent slaughter bots, we could have stemmed the tide ourselves. Oh, what a tremendous demonstration that would have been. Irrefutable proof that I was mankind's staunchest ally and the greatest lubberate to ever live. I can practically taste the praise. Fortunately, I was able to activate the brands. Should any more void scent emerge from the gate, they ought to be confined to the crater.
Why were the brands not activated?
Unless, of course, the void gate begins to expand of its own accord, or some gargantuan monstrosity tries to barge through. I don't foresee any major problems.
Why did you say that out loud?
Oh, nope. We're doomed.
There you are.
I left the data in Shale's capable hands and teleported here as soon as
Teleportation moment. Teleportation
and,
moment.
You ask, I made sure to bring the key with me.
Then the real threat yet awaits us.
'Tis Golbez's domain beyond the Void Gate. I wonder how he and Zero are faring.
Flashback in case you don't remember those guys, because that was like 3 years ago.
By the 12.
Come, return to me, my Labubu. My gold-plated Labubu, return to me. The gift of ethos. Yours is a journey without end, conceived and guided by principle. Hold fast to what you must, and meet your fate without fear. Go forth, discover, unite the stars onto one. Let none bear your path. We're gonna, like, fucking rejoin the void right now? Like, what the fuck is happening? Yep, there he is. We're gonna run over to the void through this fucking gate without anyone else around. Off we go. Bro. Hi, Zero. Girl is sliding.
What are you doing here?
A visit felt long overdue.
Only you could be so carefree amidst all this. May as well make yourself useful. The gate's sheer size appears to have made it a tempting target.
There he is.
Enuo, a dread void scent risen from the benighted depths of the ocean.
He's just like me for real.
They kept to the confines of their domain while Zeromus endured. No longer, it would seem. And once they had discovered a path to the Red Moon, they wasted no time in making the journey.
Leave the void scent nearby to us. You take care of Enuo.
Leave it to me.
Facing this many foes calls for a more familiar approach.
Oh, yeah, class change. Class change. The red eye. Yeah. That's what the people want to see. Nobody gives a shit about that paladin stuff. Put the hat back on.
Void scent can change their form at will. Both light and darkness are
Zero,
mine
you're
to
so
wield.
cool. You're so cool.
Besides, what better to purge darkness from the void than darkness itself?
Time to activate all that Memoria shit again. Daniel was just sitting over here. He hasn't even said a damn word.
Who dares face
There
me?
we go.
A mere mortal. Hast thou come in search of power, renown? I fight to end this world without end. All who stand before me shall fall.
Got a pyramid style remix. Let's go. The unmaking is now accessible. Bum, 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 bum. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. That's gonna take a while, dog. do, 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 do. This remix, though. Are we like, where the fuck are we? Like, we're on top of like a dais at the peak of like some insane like Greco-Roman architecture floating above a muddled sea inside a mass of his own tentacles. Levitating on a giant sigil. Looks like people aren't really around right now, so we're just gonna go in. Okay. Should pop in just a couple minutes. Hello, Annuo. Nice void you got down here. Yeah, so they're just like looped around the base, but don't actually connect to the back. They come out of the top of the shoulders. Interesting. Bro, the trial literally dropped today. How is there a 10-minute wait time for this? Oh, it goes all the way back to Mariolatorium instead of to the moon. To the Blood Moon. Lame. Lame. Shout out to Carbuncle running around the outside of the circle over there. For a little bit. Like, I'm shocked that there's a 10-minute wait time considering how many people we saw on the way over here in the middle of unlocking it. There we go. Hey, DPS, wake up. Wake up. Wake up. Wake up. Wake up. You got this. Wake up. Just wake up. Literally just wake up. There we go. Alright, here we go. The unmaking. So far, the alliance raids have been the scariest thing by far we've encountered. So let's see how this goes. For this patch, at least.
All who dare oppose me shall quake before the silken dark.
Target the right thing, thank you. Shit ton of meteors, just immediately. Knocked bros. Okay, okay, it was just a big ass, effectively half room circle.
The void's power
Night wakes. I'm gonna assume we're gonna get him. No, it moved.
Perish.
Not gross. Okay. So he's gonna be moving that shit around the room.
Be still.
Gaze of the void. Oh. Okay. That's not, I did not expect that to do that. It's not the kind of indicator I would have expected. They're gonna move to where those guys are? Yes, they're gonna follow them around. Okay. Interesting. And then I'm gonna take it. Yep. Oh, this is fun. Okay, I'm excited to see what they're gonna do with this.
Doth the yawning rift not tempt you?
The yawning rift not tempt you. You know. Oh, I'm dead. I just couldn't have known.
The void consumes. Naught will endure. Neither past nor future.
Phase transition into the void. Awesome. Holy fuck. Fucking complete arena change. Oh, those guys are not inside the arena. Okay. Zero! Run towards the light! Ow! You must break free! Got turned around when it happened and got clipped immediately. Are they gonna do it? Okay, good. Dead in the mid-transition cutscene.
The underlings are no more. Now to deal with NOO.
Here they come.
And death rendered meaningless.
The void.
Light, protect us.
I'm dead in the background over there.
I will not yield my domain.
I'm literally dead in the cutscene.
Such is the power of the void.
Hey, thanks.
The void shall never cease to be. My power is absolute.
Inuo rolls longest fucking longest phase transition in the universe. Both sides this time, yep.
Thus did all boundaries cease to be. Behold the truth of this world! Accept your downfall.
You guys, maybe do not hold directly to the builder. Okay. Knock grows. Over here. Yeah.
Doth the yawning roof not tempt you?
I do not stand anywhere fucking near in between these. Learned that the hard way. Oh my god. Oh my god. Ugh. I wish this was doing more with the connected following AoEs. That was a cool pattern. Meteors again.
Doth the yawning rift not tempt
Hey Samurai, hit the LB. I'm standing with Golby.
Be still.
That. Oh, did it hit a shield? There we go. I was like, where's the melee LB? Bonk him.
They must be sealed away.
Into the Contra Memorial with you. It turned into a crystal. Sorry, Inuo. That's what happens when you're not chill. Shows up. Reason wants to blow up the world. Dies. Inuo's reign is at an end. Hi, Zero. Hi, Zero. Zero, you want to say something? He doesn't want to say anything. There we go. It's over. Zero. Biz. Okay. I can have fun in here later if I want. I'm gonna have to do this with friends later. Alright. Hey, do you want to let me hold that and see what happens? No, you're gonna pocket that one? Okay. Ah, the drippy.
I'm glad you came. We would have struggled to face Enuo alone.
Can't believe it shows
I
you dead
presume
in
you
the
journeyed here to
cutscene.
prevent more void
Crazy.
scent from passing through the gate.
With Enuo defeated, there are none left in this realm who pose a serious threat. I dare say the problem is resolved.
Really, that's what we're gonna say? The Enuo was the last big scary void sin in the 13th we could have possibly fought. The 13th isn't a problem anymore. Have you noticed any abnormalities in the void as of late?
Nothing comes to mind. Why'd you ask? So the breach wasn't limited to the Void Gate, for better or worse. Precious little has changed in the 13th since the Romus fell. Have you noticed anything unusual?
I know not the reason events have unfolded this way, but there is, perhaps, an explanation as to why the Void Gate and the fissures opened. Here, in my domain, even the slightest change is keenly felt. When the gate opened, I sensed not the workings of some external force. Rather, it felt as if the barrier between our worlds was weakening naturally.
Some type of great
moment
rejoining.
by moment, until the two came to meet.
And you think this weakening could be happening elsewhere?
'Tis a possibility.
What of Razat Han and Garlemald?
Oh, not sure about Razat, but Garlemald was getting its ass beat.
Eulus took mercy upon the interloper. Whether Void Scent or Garlean, we all share the same longing for home. Should we meet, I will gladly offer them aid. Please tell Eulus as much. Wait, how exactly did you get here? No mortal could traverse the Void Gate in its current state.
I walked through that little thing over there. My little portal. Rip.
And this path of yours is still there. I cannot see it.
And that's how we're gonna explain we're the only one that can use it. That's not a problem.
Nor does it reveal itself to me. Perhaps the path serves only the key bearer.
So it is not a means to travel freely back and forth. A pity. I would have liked to see my friends again.
Sorry, Zero. You're still trapped in the 13th. Seems an opportune time to give Zero the parcel. Hi, Golby. key of yours intrigues me. Had my former self known of its existence, I might have sought a different means to reach the source. Something for me? A package of dumplings you can share with Golbez. That smell. Food, is it? I recalled Julius speaking of the dumplings his mother used to make. Thank you for the parcel. A fond memory. There's more than enough to share with Golbez. Now that he forgoes the Aether of others, I'm sure he'll appreciate the sustenance. Yeah, Golbez, eat dumpling. I sometimes wonder what the void would be like if culinary traditions flourished here once more, where there would be sufficient to break the cycle of mutual consumption. Heartening thought, nothing else. Till our battle earlier, I hadn't called upon darkness in some time. Truth, I find light a better fit these days. Since you left, we've been roaming the void in search of individuals who would join our cause. Although we returned to the Red Moon after sensing Enua's presence, rarely do we linger in a single location. However, if the interloper you spoke of does intend to seek me out, it might be wise to return to my domain. Why don't you join us? If Enua defeated, yours should be in no immediate danger. Good. We'll wait for you by the crater. Hopefully us having a portal means we can just come back here to some of the zones whenever we want. I presume you remember traveling by Nirgo. Once we reach the surface, the creature will convey us to my domain. There is a teleporter situated between here and the center of the moon. I used it to travel to the surface in days long past, though I seldom had need once my generals were in place. Bjorn herself crafted the device that I may lay low the servant of light. Ironic that we now use it to seek restoring light to the void. Ah, forgive my idle reminiscing. It is time we made our descent. Yeah, we're back. Though it was not always so. Many people lived here. So many who live here now have chosen to do so because they support the cause. Indeed, our numbers continue to grow. We may require more territory. Thankfully, we were able to harness the residual Aether from Barbicia's domain. Those reserves will enable me to expand mine as the need arises. Right. We had best prepared for our potential guest. Join me in my abode when you're ready. Look at him! There are many in this domain who still fear me. I shall remain here to avoid needless provocation. Passage to the Red Moon. It's you! That guy who scares me in a Oak Crescent. Ever since she brought you to this domain, our numbers have swelled. We grow tired of conflict. That must be Golbez. I would gladly consume his Aether. I stood the slightest chance of not being gobbled up. I waited an eternity for Zero must have saved this world, but my faith was misplaced. In the end, it was Zero who brought us hope. He's the reason I keep coming back here, day after day. Doggy. Are you from Troya? Leave me be. Zero is amazing! Truly, Golbez is equal in every sense. How are you faring, mortal? I've been training to alter my form just like Zero. I'll be the very essence of beauty. Just you wait and see. I'm gonna make myself beautiful as fuck. Biblically accurate angel is here. Can't even talk to it. No, that's a slime. That's not a plan. Different. Plan use the 13 model. These two got nothing to say. I appear to have made a complete recovery after the ignominy of starving to death. Hey, my fellow voids in here can be trusted. Oh, there he is. Viriato. Hi, bud. Golbez is even stronger than Barbicha was. I thought it best to keep out of his way. That said, our fellow tells me Golbez isn't so frightening these days. Perhaps he absorbed the will of someone less terrifying. Cute that they still. He's got Farfellow in there still. The stuff is up top. Oh yeah, the Trian Manservant. No longer will I partake in the aether of other beings, not even if I shrivel and starve. Nothing to say. What? Okay, that's it. Head on back then, talk to Zero. Whee! Breaks all my bones in half. I'll show you all a truly terrifying void scent. Little Allegan balls. It's the tools we use. That's cute. I imagine you remember these. The transmitters we used to receive light from the first. If memory serves, they work by channeling excess aether left in the wake of the flood into the crystal tower. Using the tower's cross-rift travel capabilities, light is then conveyed onto the 13th into these devices. I have a mind to use them now, but they'll need to be set in elevated locations. Your assistance would be greatly appreciated. Back where I just was, baby. That's how it always goes.
Upon activation, these transmitters will shine with light from beyond, sent courtesy of our ever-watchful friends. They will serve as beacons in the dark for those that would seek me out.
Big hole in the cloud. There he is.
Immortal no less. I did not expect to see you here.
I am Zero, and this is my domain. 'Tis a safe haven for those who abhor conflict. Among those gathered here, many aspire to restore this world to how it once was.
Such a thing is possible.
Indeed. Though how long the endeavor will take, I cannot say. But for those of us abandoned by death itself, what do we have but time to try, and try again?
It's killing me that this thing's just like a Bayonetta-ass demon. Oh, I...
Very well. This light is ample proof your comrades spoke true. However long it takes to restore our world, you shall have my aid.
And you shall have mine.
Malphus has joined the party. King Julius's intervention has helped forge a new bond. Thank you for bringing word to me. I gather you'll head home sooner rather than later. No, I don't want to leave yet. This is bullshit. I wonder if Malphus is here. Can we go talk to them? That brilliant beam, though but a drop in the ocean, I'm sure its radiance dispelled the darkness from within some few voids it. Yeah, there he is. Hi, Malphus. Perhaps I shall use my abilities to assemble a dwelling in this domain. He's gonna start repairing stuff. Wonder if any of the other guys have anything to say about him. No. I can only imagine that Gyatso might. Let's see. They just keep teasing us with the void. They just keep breaking it out whenever they want to do a little bit of remember it's there. Okay. Yeah, looks like that's it. We talked to Malphus a little. Golbez had an extra line of dialogue. 4.0 ever trapped in patch content. Let us return to the Red Moon. I'm sure you won't begrudge me a proper farewell.
Would you deliver a message to Euless for me? Tell him that we're making progress towards rebuilding our home. And I hope that he is too.
Enuo's Memoria will be safe here. The crystal containing Zeromus has been passed on to our allies in the First. If Enuo's Memoria might serve them in restoring their world, we shall likewise consider its transfer.
How much simpler it would be to aid one another in our respective fights, were it not for these boundaries between us. Safe travels, my friend. We take comfort in the knowledge that you're out there fighting too, wherever you may be.
Walked back through my portal. Alright, so the portal didn't disappear after we walked through it. Meanwhile, everyone's just over here like, what the fuck happened to them?
No luck, I'm afraid.
Yeah.
It appears he's not in Mare Lamentorum.
About to just walk back out. Just pop in. Yep. Waddling over.
Wait. Is that?
Gods, you had us worried. You suddenly disappeared. We didn't know what to think.
Shortly after you vanished, the Void-sent incursion abruptly ended.
Yeah, that guy's dead.
We surmised you had a hand in that, but never did it cross our minds that you were fighting alongside Zero and Gold.
Never did it cross our mind you were getting some fan service.
This golden path you said you traversed wasn't visible to us either. Nor did we hear a voice. Ethos. Might this be the key's true name?
While many mysteries remain, for now, I am glad to learn the state of affairs in the 13th. Golbez's suspicion that the barrier twixt worlds has begun to weaken. 'Twould certainly explain the surge in fissures manifesting in the source.
Yet what could be behind such a phenomenon?
There she is.
And who might you be? Not a Void-sent, I'd wager.
Greetings.
She looks so sopping wet all the time. Yep. Straight up.
I am Helmarut of the Asians. We are your sworn foes, I know. But on this occasion, will you not put away your arms?
Little flowers.
I wish only to talk.
Thank you for affording me a chance.
Bereft of the Unsundered, we were under the impression you and yours no longer had cause to continue your activities. That you should reveal yourself at this juncture. I assume you are the one who bestowed Calyx with the knowledge of summoning and the reflections.
Yes, that is correct.
Ah, here he comes. He's so awesome. I love him. Just jumps his ass out.
Was it necessary to reveal my present form as well?
Calyx. So he succeeded in transferring his memories after all.
He's a Labubu now.
Be at ease. Even were I to occupy a combat-oriented vessel, I would not have the ability to defeat you. You destroyed my plan, my life's work. I have naught to replace it, nor will I ever regain what I once had.
I wonder what happened with his original voice actor.
If you wish to speak, Halmarut, will you not tell us what it is that you hope to accomplish?
As you know, our star Aetheris was sundered into 4 and 10 shards in the time of the Ancients. As the will of the star, Hydaelyn perpetuated this unnatural division for millennia. And in the wake of her passing, nature has begun to reassert itself. As a wound knits itself together, the star seeks to become whole once more.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
about what we anticipated.
It seeks to rejoin with all of its shards. Unlike the one we Ascians attempted to orchestrate, however, the star's rejoining will afford mankind no special treatment.
Yeah, it doesn't give a fuck about us. It's a planet.
All life and matter will be condensed into a single whole and remade for a new beginning. A complete rebirth.
Oh, yeah, that would be the end of the world big time for everyone currently alive. Every time they show Calyx
Aetheris will
just
return
A-posing.
to the way it once was. Hundreds of millions of years past. To a quiet and peaceful time. Long before the light of mankind was kindled.
Supposing for a moment we believe you, how can you possibly know all this?
It is an inevitability that I have foreseen since time immemorial. A future that awaits should creation be freed from the influence of Hydaelyn and Zodiark. The star is tolerant to life. It holds no grudges, and neither rages nor weeps for being sundered. Yet by the same token, it is indifferent to life's survival. No amount of devastation and death can compel it to stop the wheels of creation from turning. The earth shakes, and mountains spew fire. Floods wash away the fruits of labor, and icy winds freeze and starve. Countless perish as nature runs its course.
Calamity of earth, a calamity of fire, calamity of water, calamity of ice.
So many seeds of life have already been lost. Yet in spite of this, people continue to believe that the morrow will come.
But it will not.
But it will not. For nothing lies beyond the solstice, when all creation is reunited. When that day comes, every last trace of mankind shall be erased. I cherish man's journey. Despite losing his innocence and being made to live with suffering, he has forged ever onward. Strong, even as he is weak, his is a proud tale in the history of the star. 'Twould be a shame for that tale to end. For all to wither and die, when some might yet survive. Would you not agree?
Hey, Anjay, putting two and two together.
If a natural rejoining doth lead unto the solstice, then thine intent is to preemptively rejoin the worlds.
Hi.
Correct.
Calyx.
It was for this very purpose that Halmarut recruited suitable collaborators from the Reflections. Individuals like me, who would willingly doom another world in order to fulfill their aspirations. The Winterers, we are called. And if you and yours seek to protect all life, then sooner or later you shall have to contend with us.
Even if everything you claim is true,
Yeah, you still did a bunch of fucked up shit, you little Labubu.
what you've done, Calyx, it's unforgivable.
I do not ask that you be pragmatic, nor do I seek your approval. Given your familiarity with other reflections, 'tis only natural that you are averse to our methods. But there is one irrefutable fact that you must understand. Should we take no action at all, the solstice will come, and no one will be left alive. No one.
So funny whenever they zoom in on her face like that, because she's so much higher resolution than like most of the
Should it serve to
Scions.
satisfy your ambition, you are welcome to deal with the reflections as you deem fit.
What if we force a rejoining on our own and... Ah!
Like the pariah and wanderer who satisfied his own when he brought the star to the brink of ruin to face you.
Jump scare. You too could become a Reaper. Picking up my Labubu. Goodbye.
Wait!
At least let me keep the damn thing. Ah! Been swallowed by the sea. There you are. One moment you were standing right before me, and the next you'd vanished into thin air. Thanks to you all, the Voidsen have been eradicated, and the gate lies sealed once more. There's been nary a peep from the crater. Though I can't help but notice none of you seem to share my enthusiasm. Something wrong? The star seeks to become whole, but that's preposterous. As far as I'm aware, Heidelin made no mention of a natural rejoining. I ought to consult the records to be certain. but not before thanking you for dispatching the Voidsons so handily. You well and truly saved the day. I realize present circumstances are hardly conducive to doing so, but please try to get some rest while you can. I know I will be exhausted after your trials in the void. Trail to the heavens. The implications of the solstice and winterer's schemes, as well as our approach moving forward, will take time to consider. To that end, I believe we should gather and speak in person. By we, I mean all of our fellow scions. For a change of pace, why don't we convene at the Rising Stones? I'm sure Tadaru and the others would be happy to meet us there. A fine idea. In many ways, our return is long overdue. No doubt we could all use some respite after Garlemald. I trust there are no objections? It is settled then. To the Rising Stone. Off we go. I like how they framed that fucking scythe coming down like he was about to fall out of the heavens. It was very funny. We really, well, Homer, we really were our cosmos in the Lost Belt. It's time to go around to alternate worlds and forcefully rejoin them whether they like it or not via more non-conventional means in order to prevent all of humanity from dying out. Everything has changed since we last gathered here. No doubt Tadaru is chiefly responsible for the prevailing state of tidiness. Speaking of whom, she and a great many of our comrades are en route. Let us wait for them a little while longer.
Long it hath been since last we gathered here. Though our order's dissolution was indeed in name only, thereafter we did largely operate independent of one another.
Stretching. You and Fankred, maybe. You and Fankred, yes. Other than that, you're stretching a little. Stretching the word thereafter there on largely. The largely is All
of which is to say, full glad am I to stand in such esteemed company once more.
Apologies for our delay.
Yeah, hoary boulder.
We're reporting for duty, as bid.
This is everyone that we could round up on short notice. The others are still en route. Estinian alone we weren't able to make contact with, but we're working on it.
No doubt his link pearl is buried at the bottom of his bag.
Knowing him, he'll turn up when we least expect it.
Now, as much as I'd like to savor our reunion, Tataru tells us there have been developments. Will you apprise us of the details?
Oh yeah, the world's ending again. Like the 57 trillion time.
The Winterers and the Solstice.
The veracity of Halmarut's claims remains unclear. Yet it cannot be denied that, in his bid to convert the living into endless, Calix was privy to knowledge of the reflections and more.
And the Winterers are formed of others, like him.
In light of the recent Void Sense incursions, I believe it would be wise to treat the Solstice as a genuine threat.
Fully expecting Odin/Grimnir in the next expansion to be the one from this timeline.
The problem is how to deal with it.
Unless we do straight up introduce a Loki-like figure.
Both
but I feel like that would be way too obvious.
Are home to irreplaceable life.
There's the line.
I would protect them all if I could. But if doing so means ushering in complete annihilation, then what can we possibly do?
I wonder, was Hydaelyn aware of the solstice?
Given that we had no knowledge of it when you journeyed to Elpis, you couldn't have warned Venar. So it is entirely possible she was unaware.
Yep.
But in the course of sustaining the Sundered Star, she may have glimpsed this eventuality.
Nah. It doesn't really matter. This is a your choice one. She would have believed in us anyway.
So she believed that we could overcome this trial as well. Or rather, that the choice was ours to make.
Whichever it may be, it is we who must find the answer. We who live in the here and now.
Perhaps we could take a recess? Oh, I dare say everyone could use a rest.
Indeed. We have ample food for thought, and it would be good to catch each other up.
Ere I forget, hereon, I believe you should keep the key, Ethos, in your possession. After all, it seems that is one mystery I am not destined to unravel.
Scary reaction. Is it actually in my inventory? Nope. Lame. They should put it in my inventory. Hi, Tataru. Our colleagues have much to catch each other up on. I shall have to brew some tea. This latest development is indeed a shock, but I am heartened to see not a single face clouded with despair. I helped repel the Voidson incursion in Lapis Manalis. Finding off being controlled Galatea is something I won't rush to relieve. It was nonetheless good training. Sultanat and I had remained in Corvus to monitor the situation among the Garleans and the Corvosi. Though seldom smooth sailing, in time the region settled, we were able to return. We just hung out in Corvosi, off-screen. I understand the Garlean community has made great strides in improving relations with other people. Hearing that, I feel a renewed zeal for resolving the issues in Corvus. Then perhaps you'd like to hear more about the Garlean's accomplishments from me and the twins. Might stroke that fire even hotter. Don't worry about me. I'm sure we've plenty to discuss with all these old faces. It was by no means an easy decision. As the solstice is now our paramount concern, Alcai and I have opted to formally withdraw from our efforts in Garlemald. After all, anything we can do to protect our world will also serve to keep the Garleans safe. Julius and his comrades are working hard towards a bright future of their own accord. Honestly, I'm more worried about us. It's so difficult to see the path ahead, but hopefully we can get through this and return to Garlemald with our heads held high one day. Indeed. In the meantime, let us prepare a letter for Julius and the community. We mustn't let the despair stay our hand. Taru is ever the considerate facilitator. Grateful I am to refrain from weighty discussions and simply converse with old friends. After Yanje and I went off on our own, I decided to spend some time exploring DAWNTRAIL. Never had the chance to visit during the Rite of Succession, you see. Journeyed east of the Loizanheta, before heading up the coast to the frigid northern reaches, where they revere a storied beast of the sea. Excursion only served to reinforce how diverse Terrell actually is. That's awesome! I'm glad that I was stuck in Solution 9, and you got to go hang out in all the locations of Shock Terrell I did not get to see during the MSQ because of Solution 9. That's really fun. We also met with the Wallachui. Though we had not the time to study their arts at length, we were privy to several intriguing demonstrations. Would that we could have indulged our curiosity further and traveled to yet more distant lands. For better or worse, pragmatism tempered our wanderlust. Suffice to say, still have plenty to see of the continent. I should very much like to return given the chance. Yep, sure would. Like that. Oh, Anor, I'd hoped you'd come to your senses, but I steal you're still in the throes of withdrawal. Brothers are reunited, yet a distance between them persists. How cruel fate is to force me to choose. Judging by your guise, Clemens, your studies must have been productive. Indeed, I have more or less mastered the fundamental principles of Charlayan astrology. At one point, I considered exploring other healing arts, but decided to preserve and with a more focused training to better leverage my skills on the battlefield. I don't think I'd be much use on a battlefield these days. I can scarcely hold my bow steady, let alone hit a target. As sorely bereft of brotherly ministrations as I am. Do you still require constant supervision? You two haven't changed in the slightest. Makes me wonder how our colleagues that couldn't join us today are faring. Hearing our comrades' tales reminds my efforts to master Pictomancy. All comes so far and striveled so hard. Even after discussing the revelations concerning Calyx, there's a great deal to share. It's difficult to even know where to begin. Nor and I were training Redania when Void Scent attacked the Twelveswood. Thankfully, we were able to fend them off with the help of the Twin Adders. When I heard the invasion had already spread across the star, I realized the gravity of the situation and ordered a confidential report be sent to the other Scions. That's why Tataru was so quickly apprised. Thanks to you, we were able to make haste for Garlemald. While circumstances and duty may have kept us apart, we remain bound by common purpose. Indeed, and may that purpose continue to guide us now that we stand together once again. Seems everyone has much and more to discuss with one another. Anyway, you're overdue for a proper break. Peace and quiet will help you think. Feel free to make yourself comfortable in Dawn's respite. That's gonna be it for now, I assume. Gonna get a little teaser here, or? Yep. Oh, it's the shot of us looking up at the moon like Xenos. Are we gonna see? Is this gonna be the Calyx Labubu shot too? Yep, there it is. Oh, are they gonna flash back to it too?
Of course, should it serve to satisfy your ambition, you are welcome to deal with the reflections as you deem fit. Like the pariah and wanderer who satisfied his own when he brought the star to the brink of ruin to face you.
I detest evenings such as this. Too bright, too stimulating. The mind distracted by the inconsequential.
Here he comes.
You needn't be so wary. I merely come to offer
he's up on the
information
ledge.
before my departure.
Oh no, he's smaller than
Halmarut and I
Alala.
will soon cross the rift to observe the enactment of another Winterer's plan. Our destination is the fourth. A world locked in ice, whose lands are blanketed in thick clouds. In order to survive, man has fled to the skies, using great magics to establish new civilizations.
Okay. Why tell me where you're going?
I have my own designs I would see realized. Nothing more. Believe me or don't, as you like. For all I know, you lack the means to follow us anyway.
Those little booties.
What Halmarut said to you earlier. She suggested that dealing with the reflections might satisfy your ambition. But is that truly so? You have seen battles beyond counting, have defeated even the fear of death.
Yeah, he knows about it. Okay.
Is there some conclusion that you seek?
You killed
no matter the
fucking
cost?
Necron.
I will share with you a truth. We Winterers each have an ambition that we wish to fulfill. To that end, we may share information with one another, but we do not necessarily share the same beliefs. Just as you and yours decried my actions, I find those of my fellows objectionable.
Listen, I simply took the most straightforward, sensible route to reach my ploy of both forcing a reflection and allowing humanity to abandon their status as physical beings. Either way, thus surviving through a great rejoining. Those other guys, those guys are freaks.
Be that as it may, it is the culmination of our lives' works that we would bring to the world. Fruits born of undying devotion, daring aspiration, and unwavering ideals. No matter how we are reviled, no matter what we must steal, our actions will be vindicated by those who abide in the future we create. In your benevolence, you may seek to save everything and everyone. But once all is consequently consigned to oblivion, your noble deeds will amount to nothing more than folly. For no living soul shall remain to judge them.
I would rather do great evils if there would be people to remember them, rather than than try and save everyone and thus lose everything. Cutting back to the Labubu walking away. If shattered stars and are doomed to mend, how turns the key to winter's end? Trail to the heavens. To be continued. Yeah, we didn't really get like a proper conclusion. Also, it felt like it really did feel like we just put the voice and stuff in here to be like, hey guys, we haven't forgotten. Don't you think Zero and Golbez are cool? Haha, haha, haha. Anyway, none of that's relevant. We literally beat Inuo and Golbez like looks into the screen and goes, well, that was the last Gaiku who would ever been a threat here. Smile. And I'm like, oh, okay. Thanks. Thanks, guys. Would you like to hang out in Zero's place for a little bit? Don't worry, you can't come back here again. It's like, come on, guys. Yeah, it just kind of felt like it was like most of this fucking trial outside of literally the last 2 quests was just kind of a little bit of filler. And it's like to hint at the fact that the worlds are beginning to rejoin on their own. I understand. But then somebody comes out on screen and just flat out says it right afterwards anyway. So there also, unfortunately, just wasn't a lot of information in this that you kind of couldn't have put together on your own. Or that we just literally got at FanFest. Like, I feel like, at the very least, during the keynote, they shouldn't have told us it was going to be the 4th. In particular. Or at least held off on mentioning that everyone took to the skies. Yeah, they did say Inuo would be picked on purpose for the plot, and then it's just like he's literally just there and is a too-big guy, and his only dialogue is in the fight, and he's just like, I'm gonna destroy the void, and then he dies. Like, he feels like he should have been a midway point at something in, like, Occult Crescent, yeah. Like, you would have, his ass should have been, like, a critical encounter. Or, like, a mid-boss in one of the dungeons. Like, IDK. The dungeon was cool, at least. I feel like the first 2 fights could have had a bit more going on. It was nice to see Golbez and Zero's, even if I feel like I got punked by them teasing Golbez and Zero and Void stuff for like fucking a month and a half leading up to this. But it'll be nice when we get there. Like, I'm still excited for 8.0 and all. It's just like, man, we're really just gonna string along the Void again. Like, this is a plot line that has existed for 3 years. And they just showed up for a bit of fan service and then said maybe one day it'll be fixed, and then just left, and we know we're not going there for like at least another 3 years. like they already told us where we're going and what we're doing in the next expansion, and it doesn't got shit to do with the Void. So IDK. But other than that, combat was good. The Alliance raid was far better than anything else in this patch. Like, the basic trial and the dungeon were kind of, like, oddly easy compared to stuff like in 5.3 in Meso Terminal. And despite Inuo being cool, like, it felt like DAWNTRAIL was way more like, had way more going on mechanically. So I will continue to run that alliance raid until I get the cackle emote. And that's what I got out of this patch, more or less. Like, we didn't actually learn anything really new that we didn't already kind of were able to figure out or know from the Keyfest stuff, so. Yeah, it just always feels oddly weird when mechanically stuff gets less difficult in later patches. But all that said, thanks for coming out tonight. I had fun. It was always nice to see Golbez and Zero again. Even if I'm a little shaky on our transition to the new arc. But that's fine. I kinda wish Halmarut had shown her face earlier before the Voids. I think I would have been more fine with this if Halmarut showed up earlier and told us this information, and then the Voidsent incursion occurred. And that way it would have been, here's evidence that what she is saying is true. And it just so happened to be involving with Voidsent this time. Instead of it being, the Voidsent invasion is happening, go back to the 13th, and then Halmarut shows up and be like, by the way, here's a completely different thing we're going to be dealing with. Alright. That's going to be it for all of us tonight. Thanks, of course, to Dido Session and Luke's for coming out to help us through the Alliance raids. Always a pleasure. We're kind of all caught up on 14. We'll be back for older raid series and older Alliance raids sometime soon. We will probably get back on 13 later this week. But I kind of fucked my voice up a little bit too much by not drinking enough water tonight. So, you know, we're going to take a break for a day or two. But with that said, I'll see y'all next time. Thanks for coming out, everyone. That'll be it for us here at the Theater of the First. Night, night, everyone.